13 minutes to 2 in Kingston, Jamaica. In the Middle East, there's open war now between Israel and Iran. Iran has responded to the overnight attacks from Israel by sending hundreds of ballistic missiles towards Israel. The Israel Defense Force just said, quote, "All of Israel is under fire from Iran." Injuries are being reported in Israel as the Iranians retaliate, and thousands of Israelis have been directed to find themselves in bomb shelters. Of course, earlier today, Israel declared a state of emergency. Here's the very latest from CNN.
Seen exaggerated claims by the Iranians before, but sometimes they are accurate. And certainly if Israeli jets were shot down, that indicates that they did not achieve the type of air supremacy that they need in order to fly with impunity through the skies of Iran. So there's some danger there. It appears as if they have not really knocked out everything that they need to knock out in order to achieve all of the goals of this operation.
I want to go to CNN's Jeremy Diamond now. He's a correspondent based in Israel for us, though he's not currently in the country. Jeremy, I wonder what you make of the targets that Iran is potentially looking at and how this compares to the last ballistic missile strikes that we saw launched from Tehran back in October.
Well, there are a number of significant potential targets in the Tel Aviv area that the Iranians may be going after. Obviously, we are seeing the pictures we're seeing on our screen right now seem to be of a residential building. So keep that in mind as I tell you what they may have been targeting, and also the fact that some of these missiles clearly are hitting residential areas. Within Tel Aviv itself, you have the Israeli military headquarters known as the Kiryat, which is in central Tel Aviv. Just north of Tel Aviv, you have Israel's intelligence headquarters, the headquarters of the Mossad, as well as its domestic intelligence service, the Shin Bet. And then, of course, you are seeing right now that there are missiles being fired and air raid sirens going off in southern as well as in northern Israel, where Israel has several of its key air bases. And those were also targeted during Iran's last attack back in October. You have the Ramat David Air Force Base, for example, in northern Israel, as well as several others. You have air bases in southern Israel near the city of Beersheba. We did see that Iran successfully hit those air bases during that October 2024 attack. In fact, we saw similar pictures in October when Iran launched.
So that's the very latest from CNN reporting, and we're just seeing that the Israel Defense Force has just said another wave of ballistic missiles have been launched towards Israel. The BBC is also reporting now that it's a full-blown war between Israel and Iran, and there are fears that the entire Middle East could descend into a regional war now, with the American president saying this morning that he had given the go-ahead to Israel to attack Iran. How will the rest of the Middle East respond, and other global powers? We know that the United Kingdom has called for calm and for restraint, but the situation is rapidly descending, with the Iranians surprisingly demonstrating resilience after so many of their military commanders were taken out in the first wave of attack by Israel. Here's more from the BBC.
Called the pilot fuel enrichment facility in Natanz. This is an above-ground facility where they're enriching uranium and apparently completely destroyed that facility. And now today, we're looking at imagery that suggests that they're attacking the Fordo facility, which is buried deep inside a mountain, where Iran announced yesterday that they were going to install more advanced cascades, in addition to the cascades that were there working to enrich uranium. It looks like there are also additional strikes that are occurring at the Kondab heavy water research reactor and in Esfahan at a facility where Iran is trying to turn enriched uranium into the metal that you would use to make the pit for a nuclear weapon. So Israel is clearly working step by step to try to dismantle Iran's nuclear program with heavy weapons, with bombs, with missiles as we speak.
William, while we're talking, and I just want to bring in a live shot that we're monitoring, and it's of a building in Tel Aviv that is on fire. And again, I'm going to caveat that I can't confirm whether this is a direct strike, but we are looking at a building on fire in Tel Aviv. We did see strikes across Tel Aviv. We heard them. We heard the sirens as well. And we know that there are warnings across Israel for people to stay near to shelters. William, Israel has long said that they need to defend themselves. They've always been very, very concerned about Iran getting a nuclear weapon. Help us to understand how close is Iran in doing that?
Well, so this proximate crisis really started on the 12th. It started yesterday when the IAEA released its report. They do a quarterly report on how far Iran has come towards building a nuclear weapon. The IAEA reported that it cannot confirm that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. There's no direct evidence that they are building a nuclear weapon, but they have enriched enough uranium to a level that would be close enough to bomb making for about 9 bombs altogether. They're also working on the other components for nuclear weapons. There's no direct evidence that Iran is actually building nuclear weapons, but they have come so close now that the IAEA can no longer certify that Iran's program is not contributing directly to building nuclear weapons. So this is why Iran then reacted, because the IAEA statement, the Board of Governors, the nations that are in the IAEA Board of Governors voted to condemn Iran and refer this matter to the Security Council. That's what's going to happen in about 10 minutes in New York, with Director General Rafael Grossi of the IAEA going to testify there, and as you point out, to try to de-escalate the situation as well. But all of this is happening in the context of Iran coming so much closer to building nuclear weapons, and the IAEA condemnation, and Iran announcing that it is going to build further enrichment facilities, and then Israel deciding that it's got to go and got to attack. All of this also coming in the context of a meeting that was scheduled for Sunday in Oman between the U.S. and Iran, where it looked like there may have been some real chance for progress, and now that is all up in the air right now.
Do you think that therefore has been derailed?
All right, that's where we're going to leave it for the moment. Just to let you know, the Middle East is on the brink tonight, with Israel and Iran now in full-scale war. The Israeli Emergency Services are saying 7 persons have been injured after an Iranian strike. According to the Israeli Defense Force, quote, all of Israel is under fire from Iran. So far in Iran, 78 people have been killed in the capital, Tehran. Yes, so Israel and Iran are at war.
The breaking news was brought to you by the Contractor Center, providing building solutions for everyday challenges.